Hi, I'm Pranit. In this session, I'm going to explain class and object basic example programs. So, in the C++ basic example programs, I've explained about IOStream, namespace std, cout, endl, cin. Okay. So, if you did not watch, means please watch those videos so that you can understand what is this header file, what is namespace, what is cout, endl, cin. Okay. So here in this example, this is a class program, basic class program. Okay. So to create, this is class template. Okay. So to create a class, we must use a keyword called class. Okay. And class name is employee. Okay. Class space class name. In the pair of braces, usually we write data members and member functions. Okay. So I said class is a combination of data members and member functions. So here functions are not there in this example, basic example. Only members are there. Okay. So these are called as class members. Specifically, these are called as data members. Okay. No functions are there in this example program. Clear? So the additional thing is we have a public access specifier. I will explain this within short time. And after creating a template, class template or structure template, we usually create an object that is variable. Okay. So how to create a variable for this class template means class name will become the data type space variable. Okay. So what is the data type? Employee will become data type. Why? Because it is a class name. Okay. So class name will become data type space object. Okay. In structures we call it as a variable. Okay. So how will create a data type in the structure? Structure name, 2 words, but here only 1 word in class. Okay. So what is that word? Class name. What is the class name here? Employee. So employee will become the data type. E is the object. In structure we call it as a variable. Here we call it as object. Okay. So how you know already how to access members present in the template. Okay. So by using variable dot member. Okay. But here we are calling it as object. So object dot data member. Okay. So in structures we call these elements as members, but here we are calling as data members. Okay. So that's why object here we are calling as object. So object dot data member, object dot data member. Okay. So by using dot operator, access member operator, we'll access the elements present in the class. Okay. So the members present in the class. So here one thing you need to remember is accessing. What is the meaning of accessing? In simple terms, in general, accessing means assigning values to the variables, that is data members. Assigning values means providing values to the data members. Okay. And printing. Okay. Printing the values. Clear? So what is accessing? Accessing means assigning values to the data members, that is providing values to the data members and printing values of the data members. Okay. So that is called accessing in simple terms. Clear? So here I am accessing here. See here means I am assigning values. So how to assign? Already we know. Object dot data member, object dot emp id. What is object? E. E is the object. Okay. So this is called class and this is called object. Okay. So E dot emp id. Okay. E dot emp id is equal to 100. What is the next one? Salary. We need to assign value for salary. E dot salary is equal to 999.9. Okay. Same like structures only. Okay. So here in the next step I am printing with the help of cout object. Okay. It is like printf function. Cout insertion operator. I want to print the text on the console. So text must be written in the double quotes. Okay. So for this text, double quotes and insertion operator, and I want to print emp id, e dot emp id. Okay. So for this again you need to write one insertion operator, cout insertion operator e dot empid. Okay. Next endl means the next statement, this line from here it will print in the next line. Okay. So for endl also you need to write one insertion operator, cout insertion operator endl. Okay. Next I want to print text. So how means cout insertion operator text. Text must be in double quotes. Okay. Next I want to print e dot salary. How to print cout insertion operator e dot salary. Okay. So you need to give only cout only once. Okay. So if you want to print any text, you must use insertion operator. If you want to print any variable, you must use insertion operator. That is object. Okay. So if you want to write endl, you must use insertion operator. Okay. So writing cout only once is enough. Clear? So let me execute this program. See here we got output. ID is, what is there in cout? ID is e dot empid. What is the value present in e dot empid? 100. Next endl means next line. Okay. So the text will print in the next line. Next I am printing e dot salary. So I am writing salary is. Okay. I got salary is 99.99. Okay. So this is one of the basic example program. Okay. So if you see here, the additional thing we have here, it is public. What is meant by public? Okay. So as I said, access specifier. Public is an access specifier. Accessing means who are eligible to access these data members. Okay. So there are three access specifiers: public, private, protected. Okay. Protected we will see in friend concept and inheritance concept. Okay, that will come later. Okay. So now we will see what is public and what is private. So public means definitions. The definition of public says from anywhere outside of the class. See here, this is class. So from where I am able to access this class data, class members, from outside of the class. See here, E is an object. Where it is located? It is located outside of the class. Okay. So from outside of the class, I am able to access empid. I am able to access salary. Okay. So object is located outside of the class, but simply I am able to access e dot empid, means I am able to assign a value for e dot empid, e dot salary. Okay. Why? Because the access specifier is public. Public means anyone can access the data from outside of the class. Okay. The major difference between C structure and class is access specifiers. Okay. In structures we cannot provide a security for the data. By using structure, for the structure members we cannot provide security for the data. Okay. So by using class, with the help of these access specifiers, with the help of this private access specifier and protected access specifiers, we can provide security for the data members. See how? In the place of public, I am writing as private. Let me compile this program. See here, I got error. What is the error? Employee ID, empid is private. Okay, within this context. Okay, so E is not in this context. Clear? It is showing very clearly salary is private. Okay, so it is clearly showing the errors. Okay, the font is very small size here, but I am reading the errors. empid is private, salary is private. Okay, so this is how we can provide security for the members present in the class. Okay, so in C structure it is not possible to provide security for the members present in the template, but in the class we can provide security for the data members by using access specifiers. Okay, private, protected and public. So private means outside of the data, outside objects or outside variables cannot access the private class data. Okay, so from outside no one is allowed to access the private data members. Clear? So how to access these private data means it is possible by using a function which is defined inside the class, and that function should come under public access specifier. Okay, so let me show that example. Yeah, see this example very closely. See here, I have created a class. Okay, so class name is employee. So there are two data members. What are the data members? EMPID, salary. So these two data members are under private access specifier. Okay, so private data members of a class cannot access from outside of the class. Okay, if you see here, class starts from here and ends here. Okay, so what is the meaning of private? Private data members of a class cannot access outside of the class. Okay, who can access means only inside of the class. Inside of the class members can access the private data of a class. Okay, so here we have two data members. One is EMPID, one is salary. Okay, so another we have member function is there. Okay, so in the basic classes I have explained class is a combination of data members and member function. Okay, so here we have data members and this is member function. Okay, so who can access a private data of a class means only the function, only the members present in the class can access the private data of a class. Okay, so here especially private data of a class can be accessed inside of a class member. Okay, that too through a function, which is inside of a class. Okay, which is under public access specifier. Okay, so private data of a class, this private data of a class can be accessed with a member which is inside of this class. So what is the member here? We have a member function which is inside the class, and that too this member function must be under public access specifier. Okay, so what does a function do in the class means function gives functionality or processing or accessing for the variables. Okay, so this function will do functionality, that is processing or accessing of the variables. Okay, so accessing means providing values. Okay, so accessing means printing the values. So all these about data members, it is possible, data members accessing is possible only by using functions. Okay, so that's why here we have defined one function under public. Okay, so in the main function as usual I have created an object. Then without simply defining a function is not enough, we need to call a function. How to call already we know. Okay, so how to call means a function with the function name. As here we have an object, we need to call with the object dot function name. So what is the object name? E dot function name is print. Okay, so this is the process. Okay, this is the process when the class data members are private. Okay, you need to create one public function. Okay, so what does this public function do means it will help us to access the private data of a class. Okay, why this function must be in public means if it is a public only, it is possible to, this object can be possible to access the data. If it is not public, it is not possible. Okay, so Please watch again. If you have any doubts, please share to your friends. Thank you.